What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Friends of Mortgage Heroes. I'm Brian.
I'm Andy.
And today we're joined by an electrifying young entrepreneur. He's a real estate investor, a realtor, and CEO of Lieon Housing Construction based here in San Diego. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to today's guest, Victor Murillo.
Hey, all right.
Let's go, bro.
Thank you.
How you doing, bro?
Me, guys. Good. I'm excited to be here with you guys.
Dude, first time meeting in person.
Yep.
We've been going back and forth on the DMs, and now we have him here in the flesh, bro. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Of course, it's a pleasure. I feel like I've been knowing you for a year, 2 years. Just
I
on
know,
Instagram,
bro. Just going back and forth, and that's the beauty of social media, man. You make friends all over the place.
It makes stuff like this happen.
Yeah, exactly.
90% of my friends are from social media.
Yeah, honestly, a lot more friends I've gotten from social media nowadays than like ever.
Right. Yeah.
So I wanted to start off, bro. It was just Father's Day. It was just
Yep.
Father's Day, and I saw one of the posts that you uploaded. And how did it feel to bless your dad with a new Mamalona, bro? AKA,
Dude.
a new work
A new
truck.
GMC.
Dude.
And not just any GMC truck, the one that he wanted, bro, his favorite truck.
Fully equipped. All that.
Okay, my bad, damn.
No, man, it was a blessing. It was honestly one of the biggest successes that I had in my whole career. I mean, that's what life is about. Being able to bless your parents, being able to retire them. I recently took him out of his job to come work with me. So he's like my right-hand man as well.
Nice.
So
Wow.
That's badass.
he was driving his little Audi, so I'm like, he needs to pull up in the job sites in a good truck.
That's el jefe.
He's the boss. But yeah, it was truly a blessing. I was very excited. He teared up a bit, but I mean, it was.
I mean, bro, it must have been the
Yeah.
world to him. I mean, I got two little boys, and if my boys, gifted me my favorite car, I would like completely lose it. Santiago said.
Yeah.
It's a sign. Just 20 more years.
Hey, bro. Hey, you guys got plenty of time to save.
just planting a seed.
Pilas, anti-pilas.
Yeah. Bro. So let's jump right into it, bro. What was the story behind, your leap into real estate and construction? Like, what sparked the journey?
Well, I started flipping houses before I even got into the construction business.
Interesting.
I had no idea that I was going to be a contractor. I didn't know I was going to be driving around with a measuring tape, talking to clients. But I always had that entrepreneur mindset since I was young. I mean, in high school, I was selling chips. I had people selling chips for me. That's where it really all started.
Oh, what sport do you play? Oh, no, I got Takis.
I got the guy
sales.
right here. Yeah, we got in trouble a couple times by the
ASB trying to freaking, regulate. I need a piece of that. If
I'm-
there's any chips, candy getting distributed around the school,
Yeah,
I need a piece.
For sure. I was taking all their business. But yeah, I kind of just fell into the construction side of it. I started flipping houses. And with flipping houses, I mean, you only see money like every 5 months, every 6 months it takes to buy the house, to rehab it, and then to sell it. So I wanted to create some type of business where it could make me money like every day, every week, and I didn't have to wait those 5 and 6 months. And that's where I came with the construction business and started working with investors, clients.
And was there anybody working in construction already in your family, or you're just like, hey, like I see that this is something that can, have a good synergy. Like, let me just go ahead and go connect them together.
Yeah. Well, actually, my contractor, it's a funny story. I met my contractor when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. What?
Wait. No
I think
one,
you're like
no
14,
one, wait, hold on.
15.
Yeah.
Hold on. You're real young, but no one's ever said that. Like, hey, back when I was 4.
So when my parents first moved to the U.S., they bought a house in National City, and they needed someone to do some work in the within the house. And my mom started walking around, and she saw a contractor working on a house 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
And then they started working on our house. They became friends. And then 20 years later, I called him up, and I told him, I'm starting this business. Do you want to be like my right-hand man? Do you want to be my contractor, my go-to? And he's like, yeah, I mean,
Wow.
let's do it. And he took that
Really?
leap of faith
Yeah,
on me,
yeah.
because I mean, it was a leap of faith.
So wait, hold on. So when you did this, like, was there still a relationship along the way? Or were you like, hey, I'm this kid from 20 years ago?
Yeah, no, my parents were friends.
I caught that part. Okay,
yeah.
but did he know you were doing this, or was that out of the blue when you talked to him?
It was out of the blue. I mean, it was out of the blue
sh-
for my parents as well.
So like, I know you do this. I'm getting into
Oh,
this.
wow, okay.
What's up?
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes you
Wow.
got to shoot, man. That's how it is.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
That's
and my
really cool.
best guys came from him. I mean, his whole contractor
Really?
team, they were still the same. I mean, my best guys are
Dang.
thankful for him. Yeah.
Wow.
I
That's
was
really
always
cool.
curious how you started everything, bro, because I know I saw you like doing the real estate. You were also doing like the investing, and I just was so curious to know, though, how did it all tie up together?
I mean, everything's written. I mean, I strongly believe in God, and just like everything happened for a
That's
reason.
awesome.
Everything came
That's beautiful,
aligned.
man.
Everything aligned.
So what was that first deal like? Walk us through it. What was your emotions, your excitement, maybe
Yeah.
your anxiety? Like, what was that like?
I mean, it was very nerve wracking. I mean, I raised capital from private investors and my capital as well. It was actually a condo in Point Loma.
Okay.
We bought it for, I think it was like $295. We put in about $30,000, which was my own money. So that was everything that I've raised throughout the whole 3 years of working, flipping cars, working 9 to 5s. And then we sold it for, I think it was like 400. So
Nice.
we made about like maybe 40 to 50K.
Nice.
Back in the day, I was making $2,000 a month.
That's what I was gonna
So-
say. That right there was probably just your first breath into like, holy crap, this
Yeah.
thing works,
Yeah.
and it really works.
Yeah, it was the first taste of it, little touch of the.
And then from
Yes.
there, what was that like? Finishing that project. Was there any obstacles that you ran into, or anything that you might have didn't expect, but along the way you were able to get through it?
Well, honestly, it went pretty smooth. I was there like every day because I wanted to get. I actually quit my job 6 months prior to getting that flip because I thought I was gonna get a flip right after quitting my job, and it wasn't as easy as I thought. I was going through the MLS, through a cold calling. I'm doing door knocking. So it took 6 months, and then once we got that condo, I was just there every day, knowing the whole processes, the construction, how long it takes, what materials and stuff like that.
Just peeping game.
Yeah. And then throughout that time, I got my real estate license.
Oh, okay.
So I was able to sell the condo through my real estate license. So I was able to save $15,000 right
Yeah.
there too as well.
Smart.
That's smart.
By taking a test.
So let's rewind it back a little bit. You said you quit your job. What were you doing previously to you getting into real estate?
Well, my first business was selling those chips in high school.
Of course.
I think that's where it all started. I mean, the entrepreneur mindset. Then I started flipping cars.
Okay.
I went to flipping cars. I got into like the life insurance business,
Mm,
and then I started working the 9 to 5 as a personal assistant for a doctor.
Okay.
And then that's when I just started raising money because I knew I wanted to be into real estate.
What was there like a defining moment where you're like, I want to do this real estate thing? Like, do you remember? Was there a conversation? Were you watching a video of someone like just talking about something that you were like, oh, I want a piece of that? Like, tell me that.
I mean, honestly, it was a quote that most real estate people have heard it, that most millionaires become wealthy through real estate.
Right.
And I said the odds are in my favor, so I just started investigating more on YouTube and stuff like that, and that's where I really started, is through YouTube.
You hear that, everybody?
Yeah.
Everyone, for so long, people have been telling, oh yeah, YouTube, yeah. Okay, look at now.
Yeah.
Look at how much. I'm gonna pit stop real quick.
of
We
course.
talk about this off camera all the time.
That's why I'm like,
how many new entrepreneurs are bred out of the things that are shared on YouTube, that if you go even upstream another step, people are afraid to share
For sure.
or talk about.
No, I mean,
but then those who are bold create situations like this.
100%. I mean, YouTube University, and then not just YouTube, just social media in general. I mean, you get access to these people's mindsets that I didn't have access to. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't know anyone in real estate. I didn't have someone to call, ask questions, and like dig into their brain. So I just started Googling, just YouTubing Nick Ruiz, all these guys, and started buying their courses. And that's really how I just got started into real estate.
Wow.
I love that.
I learned about private capital, hard money, the whole process within flipping a house.
So the quote, is the quote you saw on social media or on YouTube, or
I mean, it's on social media. I mean,
I know it's
Yeah.
around all over. But like, okay,
Yeah.
so how quickly after like having that recognition, you're like, all right, well then I'm in.
Yeah.
Was it like instantaneous?
Yeah,
or?
it was pretty instant. I started just YouTubing like all these different avenues because real estate is so broad. I mean, you can do so many things within real estate, and the whole process of flipping a house really interests me. Like, so that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so crazy because how many years ago is this now? When this happened?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Okay, so there's we've also had we've covered some other articles and some other news topics here about how Flipper Nation and the flipping shows and all. It's kind of like bred an entirely new crop of young folks who want to do the same thing, and you actually are like fit in that exact category where it's television and social media is inspiring people to go and take these I'll say risks. They're market risks, of course, but there's risk in not doing it too.
Sure.
But it's really cool to hear that because I think there's still a lot of sentiment that is maybe going to bash people sharing all this on social media or, I wouldn't do that because or whatever. But then it's like, how much more evidence do you have to see of people sticking their neck out, making it, and then creating new opportunities for other people, where you're just going to continue bashing that all the way down the success line. You're like, well, that's not really playing out real well now, is it?
And I think for the younger generation, that's the advantage we have, that before, if you wanted to do something, the first person that you shared that idea with might shut you down. You're like, you're right, it was a dumb idea, I probably shouldn't do it. Where now you're constantly seeing that one thing you want to do over and over and over again, that even if they told you no, you're seeing it for yourself. You're like, I'm going to do it whether people are with me or against me. Like, I know that I can do this.
That's how this show got started. We're doing Friends and Mortgages. Like, we're doing it because I didn't even ask anybody if we're doing it. Like, hey guys, we're doing this in 2024.
Okay.
All right, cool, let's roll. And we just do it because I don't care what anybody thinks about it. It's us interviewing our friends in and around real estate.
For sure.
I don't really need anyone's public opinion for it, or I don't care about their approval. I care about you telling your story, getting your success nuggets, talking about the trials and tribulations, and really getting to know who you are, and so the audience can watch that too. It's not about him and me.
I mean, it's a leap of faith that you have to have in faith within you as well. I mean, when I first told my parents I didn't want to go to school, I'm actually the first person in our family not to go to school. It's usually opposite. They're the first to go to school. I tried going to school for like about a week, university. It didn't work out. They gave me a test the first day. I was like, no, I cannot do this for another 4 years. It was a big disappointment for my parents, but I was just like, this is not what I want to do. I have it planned, and this is what I'm going to do. And I mean, hopefully I'm making them proud now.
You got a great one-liner in your back pocket. You'd be like, I'm the first one in my family
not to go to college.
to skip college. It's like the opposite. You go,
I wasn't expecting that one.
I'm doing pretty well. I hope I am.
No, but you know what? That's the beautiful thing. Like, and I can relate to that because I went to college. I tried going to college, and it was just like every subject that I took didn't click, didn't hook, didn't give me that, I want to continue to do this. Oh my God, I love this. Yeah. And it wasn't until I stumbled into sales that I realized that I really like just, engaging with people, connecting with people, understanding people, and then being able to solve their problems. For sure. And that's the one thing that, I really drive myself. And if it doesn't fulfill me, it doesn't give me that, okay, I really want to be passionate about this and I can see myself doing this, then I really probably wouldn't do it because of the fact that I know what I like, I know who I am, and I'm very, very fortunate to be around people that allow me to grow in my space and let me do what I want to do, but at the same time, continue to progress forward. And I think that's the most beautiful thing that you can, do for yourself. And it's a huge leap of faith, like you said.
For sure, yeah.
So bringing it back to, the business, how do you juggle running with real estate, being a realtor, running your company, running teams, what are the day of a three company man?
I mean, the most important thing is delegating. You just got to delegate. You got to trust, build the team. I think that's one of the hardest things is building that team, having that quality within my construction team. I mean, it's hard finding these good contractor. People think it's easy finding you hear a lot of horror stories between my clients, and but yeah, I mean, it's just a leap of faith.
So, follow-up question to that: as a young boss, how do you leverage your age to be able to, delegate without people saying, "Who's this kid telling me what to do?"
Yeah, I mean, it's just my business-wise, it's just reputation. My clients, I mean, they refer me. I show them my work. I mean, sometimes on bigger projects, I bring in my contractor so that he can get that expertise. Because I mean, at my age, I'm not a construction expert. I'm learning as I go, but he's able to add that value when I go within big jobs. But I think I don't really see it as an obstacle anymore in my age. I'm here. Yeah. I'm gonna give
my age doesn't matter. It's what I know and the things that I can produce.
The quality of my work. I mean, I have potential clients walk properties, so they can see how we work and how the quality of within our construction company is.
That's good not to awesome. Put too many eggs in that basket where you're making your age matter a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of play this argument on both sides. I'm not going to lie, because your age actually works for you when you get older, like me.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been at this for 20 years. Like, you're going to want to listen, right? But here's the other thing: is that no matter how young you might be, if you've already done something, you've gone ahead of other people who are looking to do the same thing. You're like, I've already run this course. I'm already 5 exits down the road. I can tell you what the first 4 are. I can help you get to the 5th one. You just got to hang tight and come with me.
Right.
No matter how old they are or how young you are, you've already had that track record. So it does matter.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to ask you too, because I've been curious about this as I'm listening to you guys talk, is there's probably certain things that have happened during construction's projects that. Being in real estate, you've had the benefit of knowing how to fix it quickly.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, what is something that has surprised you that you've learned in that process that has actually spilled over into other parts of business that you've benefited from too?
I mean, the whole construction side. I mean, I started flipping houses, and I came into the construction side. I mean, I was able to build that network, and I knew real estate people. Like agents always hit me up to fix their clients' houses before getting them up to sell. So I was able to build that network, and it kind of just fell on my lap. Like the construction side, I was able to get so many clients just by being in real estate and being in that space of that network.
Yeah.
So I think that's a huge advantage of me, is that I'm actually not just a contractor. I'm actually an investor as well.
Yeah.
So I have that mindset of an investor.
So is there something specific that like really jumps out at you that really like made an impression in these first 3 years, where like, oh man, this lesson completely made me rethink or have a new perspective on what I'm doing?
I think it's just been the network of just being out there and being socialized. I mean, doing these type of things like podcasts and stuff like this. I mean, this is definitely out of my comfort zone. It's not easy as people think.
We can get you a hammer. You want to hold a hammer? I'll go get you. You hold a hammer and a calculator and a contract.
I feel a lot more comfortable.
Like, oh, I'm ready. Got all my things.
No, but it's a learning. I learn every day. I mean, I'm putting out fires every day. I mean, it's definitely not as easy as people think. I mean, it's very stressful. I mean, I have people that depend on me. I mean, families that depend on me, and that's what stresses me out the most, is within the company. I mean, having work for all my guys and just keeping them busy, because if I don't put in the work, I mean, there's no work. I mean, it affects so many people. It's not just me.
Absolutely.
So I mean, we literally stress for our clients at times, and we're the one leading the ship. What in your life do you do to calm that stress, your routine, what do you do outside of business, that keeps you motivated enough to know that, hey, I got stress, but I can also, relieve that stress in other ways?
Exercising. I exercise a lot. I exercise 5 times a week, 2 times a day. I hit the gym in the morning.
I do see you do that all the time, but that's actually, you're right.
Yeah.
Like it kind of gets me like, God damn.
Yeah, that's where I really like zone out and just like focus on the present and not just worry about, because I'm stressing 24/7.
Yeah.
I mean, once I'm like doing hot yoga, I mean, this is where I just zone out. It's about me. It's about your health. I actually started running a lot as well. So I think exercise is a big thing for me, and I think everyone should just find that time to exercise, because it really it's good for your body and it's good for your mind.
Yeah.
And I've started noticing the more I exercise, the better I do in business and in life.
Well, you're taking care of your temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your temple. I mean, that's everything.
No, I haven't been taking care of mine.
We gotta hit the gym.
I'm building my temple like out. I'm building it out.
Bro, once you get to this side of 25, you start building.
We'll start that run club.
So what are some of your goals, bro? What are you looking to accomplish in this business, and how do you plan to accomplish that?
I mean, within the construction space, I'm doing a lot of renovations, remodeling, and I kind of want to pivot to ADUs, bigger scale projects. So that's what I'm trying to pivot into, the construction side. I'm actually going to a class tomorrow in LA with one of the top contractors in LA. I go back to, finding those mentors. I mean, I paid $1,000 for this 6-hour class, and I'm like, sometimes my friends are like, you're crazy, just $1,000. But I mean, I feel like that investment is just gonna 10x. I mean, it's gonna make me
and just being in those rooms with those people, being able to, like you said, pick their brains, understand what they've been through, and really just get an idea of, what to expect, so that you don't have to go through certain potholes that they've been through already. And I think it just pays back dividends once, you take that information, and you pay a pretty price, but it pays you back a lot more.
100%. I mean, mentorship is a huge thing. I mean, it's just not. When I first started, like I said, I didn't have any mentors. So I was going through YouTube, but now that I'm more in business, I'm able to get surrounded by the right people. So I'm able to pick their brains, like my broker, Henish. I mean, we're developing a 44-unit apartment building. So I never thought I was...
Modestly.
At 25, I never thought I was going to...
44, you said?
44 unit.
Dang, bro. Wow.
Yeah,
nice.
Up in Vista, we're doing going through the whole permitting factor.
That's amazing,
so I was able to... I surrounded myself with Henish, and he was able to bring in, his ideas.
I think one knows Henish, actually.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he highly speaks of him because he went to their event. You guys, he hosts events, right?
He does weekly.
What is it? What is their company called?
Cal Home.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah,
He
Cal
literally,
Home
that is funny.
Okay,
So he has
got it.
He has a construction company as well.
Interesting.
And he does a lot of ADUs. He only does ADUs.
Nice.
So you're doing a deal with him then?
Yeah, we
dude.
Wow,
okay.
We got to get him in here.
Yeah,
we got to get him in here.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah,
There's
me
no way I
either.
would
The
have
name
known
sounded
that.
so familiar, so I was like, I think we.
He's my broker. I'm
You're under them.
Well.
You're under them.
Oh,
So
okay.
I need my license with him, and it just
That's cool, bro.
It just happened to be that. I mean, we partnered up on this deal, and
so for going back to your construction company, would you say you're more of like, the operator that's going out and taking care of like the contracts and being able to, bring the business in, but then you also have obviously the team that, comes full circle that completes the job, does the job, but you're still there basically, overseeing, making sure everything is.
Yeah. So, I mean, my part of the business is just like networking, getting these clients, being like pretty much the face of the company. I try to stay away from like the projects. My dad is actually the one that handles all my projects. So when I first started, I would be running around going to Home Depot every 3 times. Yeah. So he handles all the projects.
That's awesome.
The payroll, I mean, everything, the accounting. I'm focused
make sure the business comes.
Yeah.
That's
making
really
sure the guys
awesome.
are busy, networking and stuff like that.
What's it like being able to do this stage of your life with your dad?
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, it has its pros and its cons. It's difficult working with your family sometimes. I'm not able to talk to him like the way I'm able to talk to maybe some of my other workers because of that, just mutual respect. I mean, at the end of the day, he's still my father. But it's a blessing. I mean, being able to work with my father. I actually want to retire. One of my main goals is retiring my mom and getting into like the interior designing, staging type of aspect, because I also flip houses.
You're going straight vertical integration on everything. You're like, my pop's gonna do this, my mom's gonna do that.
I have a plan for everything.
No, I'm catching up. I'm picking up on that,
bro.
I'm picking up on that super hard.
Or is this? Oh no, I already got this. It's gonna happen like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Yeah. You probably already have a driver picked out for yourself, right? You're just
He's like, 2 more years, he'll be 18.
He's like, I got one of my siblings that went to college. I can be my driver.
Yeah, so I can't be driving and talking and answering text back. So I need somebody. Time efficiency.
For sure. No, yeah, it's a blessing being able to work with my father, and then my mom actually started her like staging side hustle as well with my flips, and I mean, my main goal is to retire her and
go into that.
So is some of what's materializing that we're talking about today, is some of this, did this exist in a dream and vision of yours like a long time ago, and it's materialized in this moment we're talking about it? Because you're saying that you've been doing this for about 3 years, you just got started, and you're telling about the quote about real estate, and like did a vision or an inspiration for a life that looked like this exist before that?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I've always wanted to take care of my parents. That has always been my number one goal. I mean, they brought me to this country. They gave me the opportunity. They raised me. I mean, I am who I am because of them, and I want to give them the world. I mean, they're my why. I think everyone needs to have a why and a purpose in life.
Super strong, man.
It's not just about the money. It's not just about the cars, about the houses. I mean, it's being able to take care of your people.
Yeah.
And that's like my number one goal, and that's what I'm striving for.
That's super solid, man.
I
So
admire that.
part of our conversation, I'm sitting here, I'm talking with you, and I'm asking these questions. Is I'm on the other end of that. I'm the dad, right? So like I was mentioning right offset, like my daughter usually runs our shows because she's part of our production business.
Yeah.
So we have Mortgage Heroes, we got the Friends of Mortgage Heroes show, and then we have a production company that does videography and video all throughout town, and my daughter does that, and we enjoy being able to work together like that. And there's also something really cool as a father to have a child who is in business and who is doing the things you're doing. And you get to work and make those memories together. It's actually, we're not using the word, but I'm going to drop it right now. You're creating legacy is what it is.
Yeah.
And that legacy being able to go a generation up to your generation and then maybe a generation beyond you, I think that speaks volumes to, I'll say, being devout as well. Being solid and firm in your faith as well, and then also just walking it out. Like you gotta get up and go do the work. You can't just sit around dreaming about it, typing up notes and a vision plan. You gotta go like do it. And I think that speaks volumes to you.
100%. I mean, it's all about taking action. I mean, I could have watched all these videos, thousands of videos, but without action, I mean,
if you don't do anything,
nothing's possible.
All it gives you is a nice YouTube history playlist.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Paralysis by analysis.
Stuff you've watched and stuff you haven't done.
Yeah, I mean, just failing. I mean, I've failed many times, and I just got up. I learned from these mistakes. I always say, I mean, learn something from every situation. It's never an L. It's never a loss. I mean, it's a learning experience, and I take that into consideration.
I was just talking to my barber about this today, where he was saying you have to go through hard things in life to really understand or at times value things, because when you're comfortable, when you're good, you're not really worrying about anything. You're just doing. But in the moments that you struggle, you have obstacles and you get through them, you almost level up, you become stronger, you become wiser, whatever that issue happened and whatever it made you like, think or go through, I think that helps you out a lot. And sometimes I feel we have to go through tough things to really understand or kind of get through where you need to go. Like obstacles are, sometimes
that's where most of the lessons are. Most of the lessons are in the hard stuff. Like there's only a limited amount of things you can learn from things going really well all the time.
And that's literally what I was saying. Like, what can you learn? Exactly. What can you learn? You're good. You're going. Like, there's not really much. But when an obstacle comes, you got to get creative. How can I get through this? How can I not stress but still be able to go forward and make sure that I'm, still holding everything accountable?
What builds perseverance in you too. Like, you get hit in the head once, like, okay, that hurt. You get hit twice, like, okay, I don't like this. You get hit in the third time, like, hey, I need to avoid this, or I need to counteract it somehow.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just keep sitting on your fat butt and getting knocked around by the world and choices and all this other kind of stuff. So the persevering through grows through those difficult times.
For sure.
So switching gears, work. But where's the play, bro? What do you like to do for fun? Like, what does Victor like to do when he's not, putting on his hard hat or, out showing houses or walking projects? What are some of your passions, bro?
Well, like I said, exercising. I mean, I'm huge in exercising. I love exercising. I actually got back from playing golf, like I told you. I mean,
I was like, so jealous.
I started playing golf. I mean, it's not just because of the fun, because to be surrounded by the people within the golf. I mean,
yes,
so much money is made on that course, and I mean. When a millionaire asks me to go golf, I mean, I can't say no, or I can't like be bad, because then they're not gonna invite you ever again. So I'm building.
That's so true.
I'm building.
That's
my
so true.
practice.
Same, bro. I'm like, and it's crazy because you go out to the golf course and like older people are there and they're just curiously, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good shot. So what do you do?
So much opportunity.
And literally, like that's literally how they are. They're just looking there to chat, shoot the shit, and just you connect, and all of a sudden some guy's talking wisdom to you. He's like, oh yeah, and I ended up selling my company, and now I'm retired and play golf 5 times a week.
Yeah, there's so much opportunity.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, please, can you elaborate on that? I got time. I will be home late.
Raising capital. I mean, capital for all these deals. I mean, we're raising capital for this apartment building. I mean, there's so much money there. I mean, and I think it's good to get surrounded.
Yeah, it's got to be a big project, man. I mean, I was over here kind of like doing some soft math in my head. I'm like, 44 units. I'm like, Vista, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's actually a single family house right now. It's a small, 800 square feet house.
Right.
So we're gonna.
But the zoning.
The zoning, yeah, the zoning was in the money. I mean, we actually got that deal through cold calling.
Get out.
Yeah, we got through cold calling.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Get out, dude.
And I was looking as a flip perspective. The guy wanted like 700K, and I'm like, the house is worth 700K once it's already fixed up. So I was like, no, it's not a bad deal. It's a bad deal. I'm not gonna interest it.
Okay.
And then I spoke to Henish about it. He said he wants to start developing, and I'm like, I actually had this in my database. This guy wanted 700K. He was willing to do some type of creative financing. So we did like 70K down payment and an interest of $2,500 a month. But there's a tenant in there that pays $2,300 a month. So out of pocket, we're paying $200 a month
to carry it
until we get the permits approved.
Okay.
So once we get the permits approved, we have to give him the rest of the $700K.
Okay.
But I mean, that was huge for us because we're paying $200 a month.
So you locked it in under subject to getting the permits basically finalized and everything.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, that's a sweet deal. Especially if you're going to go knock out 44 units in that spot, bro.
Yeah.
CJ was telling us about that same thing.
That's true.
He was doing like 24 in like Logan Heights. I'm like, what do you mean 24? He's like, oh yeah, it was just his house. And the guy needed to get rid of it. I'm like, wait, hold on. You're putting 24 right there? Okay.
24 ADUs.
John, one of the contractors that we work with, he's like, yeah, the other day I saw National City, it was like a 300-400 square foot little lot. And we're like, all right, like, cool. Why would anyone buy that? He's like, no, what they don't know is that you could build up.
Yeah.
He's like, you can build up and you could build like 4, 5, 6 units. He's like, that's why I'm looking at it. He's like, people don't know that though. If they don't know their zoning, they don't know what they can do. They could be looking at a gold mine and say, hey, this is trash.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my parents' first house that they bought, they still kept it as a rental. It's in National City, and it's a big lot. And I started investigating what can I do within this property, and it happens to be that I'm able to build 4 ADUs within that property. I mean, it's usually just one ADU that the state allows you.
Yeah.
But I was able to build 4 ADUs, so I'm in the process of building 4 ADUs.
Good for you, man.
As well.
That's awesome. That's so good.
At the house that we're at, we're renovating the garage. We're adding a junior ADU on top, and then converting the back covered patio. So we're adding 3 units as well, and it's so crazy what you're able to do. And I was talking to Will about it before we got into the investing world, understanding how hard money, these products work. It's so lucrative to be able to get these deals. If you have the deal, if you know where the money's at, it's really just, lining up the numbers and making sure everything's good. And you really have a good deal all the time if you have it set from the beginning.
It's matchmaking.
That's literally it. And I was telling you, I'm like, it's so different than working with residential, people that buy houses, because it's more of an emotional attachment to this house. I don't like the color. I don't like the cabinets. And when you're an investor, you're like, shoot, fuck the cabinets. Those are getting redone. The color, that's getting redone as well. Like, I'll be able to flip this, the uglier the better. Yeah. And as long as the number makes sense, I see that there's a huge difference in, the way that people transact. On the residential side, it's more, emotional. And then on the investor side, it's all just logical numbers. If it makes sense, black and white, I don't care. If I'm making what I want in my spread, doesn't matter what the deal looks like. I'm getting what I want. And that's what I really like, because it's more dialed in.
For sure. Yeah, I don't think I could be a realtor, honest. I mean, I have my license, but representing buyers and sellers, I mean.
and so do I. And that's where, we had, hey, should I go real estate or should I go to the loan side? For me, I like the loan side better, because I can't show 10 houses in one day. Right. But I can do 10 applications in one day. Yeah. And I also like more on the loan side, being able to, connect with the client on a different level. It's on a more personal level, because we're talking about their most sensitive things, their finances, their credit, basically their whole life. So it's a really good opportunity. I've made some great friends into clients. Clients into friends, by just understanding the situation and just talking to them like regular people. If they were my friends, my family, and advising them in a way like, hey, if I was in your situation, this is what I would do. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes my job like so enjoyable, that I don't look at my clients like a number on their head, like, hey, you're good, like, on to the next one. It's more like, I really like the Johnsons. Like I'll go out of my way for them just because I like people that much. And if you take care of people, it's shown that people take care of you.
For sure. Yeah.
So coming into the close, what advice would you give to other young entrepreneurs that are looking to break into real estate or construction, or just in general trying to get into the, to the entrepreneurial space?
I mean, don't follow the money. I mean, have the passion, love what you want to do. I mean, the money will come. Follow your dreams. I mean, don't let anyone tell you what you can and what can't do. I mean, I had so many people tell me, you can't do this, you can't do that. You don't have the money. You're too young. And I was just like, I just focused. I put in the work. I took action, and I'm here because of that.
No, that's beautiful. And I think if you believe in yourself, your vision is your vision only. Right. And sometimes other people don't see it, and that's okay, because it's not meant for them to see it. It's your vision.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue that a lot of people have with social media as well. I mean, these guys that are 20 years old making millions and millions of dollars, I mean, everyone has their own way, I mean, their own road, and just like focus on you. You're doing great, and just focus on you.
I've noticed when people say that, they're also not doing it. So the thing that they're criticizing is also something that they're not willing to do. Right. And so it's like, okay, well, that's so in a weird, possibly twisted way, it's like, oh, that's actually validation. Yeah. Because if you're sitting on your couch telling me I shouldn't go do this thing, well, you're still sitting on your couch. You're not doing it. Yeah. So I don't even really care what you think.
Yeah, no, I have so many youngsters reach out to me on Instagram messaging like, what can I do for you? What can I do for you? What can I add value to you? And I tell them step by step, and 99% of these people don't want to put in the work.
It's that action,
and they think it's just they think it's easy. Like, I wish I had someone to reach out to, like, message on Instagram that I talk to these guys. Like, I point them to the right direction, and sometimes they're just not willing to put in the work.
It's easy to type something. Yeah. But can you go do the thing you typed? For sure. That's the big difference. There's a huge difference, especially, and I'm going to say this in the generation that you guys are in, and even my daughter, it's like, you can tell me all the things, but can you do the thing you told me? Yeah. Because I don't need to be told it. I need someone to carry it out. Yeah. So carrying it out is where the value is at. That's where I'll say where the money is at, but it's not just finances. I mean, that's where the value of actually being able to fulfill purpose is in the doing.
And that's you hit it out like the nail on the head. It's you being able to perform that brings in the money, and you doing the action by default is going to bring in the profits. And if you focus on the profits, it's only going to be, so far that you get before things start to come down. You start focusing on the money, and then you don't have that flow in your business. You don't have that. You're just focusing on the money, but when you focus on the purpose, the money comes regardless.
Yeah. For sure.
So rad. I love it. I love that you are in a place of knowing these things as true and experiencing them at this young of an age. Yeah. It's really encouraging.
Yeah.
Victor, where can people reach you, bro? How can they get in contact with you? For our young listeners or anybody that wants to learn more about, your construction company, how to get into construction, how to get into investing. Where can they connect with you, bro?
On social media, on Instagram, I mean, people always ask when I go to network for my business cards, but I honestly don't believe in business cards anymore. I think with Instagram, you connect. I try to post every day. I mean, they see what I'm actually doing. And with business cards, I mean, I just throw them away. I mean, I think you can connect with me easily on Instagram. You can reach out to me. You can always just send me a DM, and I will always answer. I answer everybody.
What's your handle on Instagram?
It's Vic.Murillo, and then my construction company, Lieon Housing Construction.
We'll make sure we add those on the notes.
For sure.
Victor, bro, thank you so much. It was a great first time meeting you, talking to you, understanding your story, where you come from, your background. I mean, I'm just in awe, bro. Very, very admiring hearing everything you say, and I look forward to bringing you back on, continue to see you, grow, and hopefully we can do business together, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Hell yeah, bro. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Heck yeah.
Victor, thanks for being here today, man. Pleasure getting to know you.
Yeah, for everybody that listened in, thank you so much. We really appreciate your support and continuously, showing out and, checking out all the other shows that we have. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.